A woman being ripped from the front desk by her hair and punched while being dragged through the entrance by a woman deputies identify as 27-year-old Shantiana Sims of Rochester. It's at the front doors where the video shows the victim is then picked up off the ground and carried outside by who deputies say is 27-year-old Cordell Brooks of Rochester.
Victim was being trafficked or prostituted by the two suspects.
MCSO's Major Crimes Unit, along with its tactical team and the Rochester Police Department, searched several different addresses before finding the two suspects and the victim parked in a car on Joseph Avenue and Sullivan Street in the city just hours later.
Who knows what would have happened, but for sure she would have been held there against her will for a longer period of time.
Sims and Brooks now charged with second-degree kidnapping and second-degree assault, both felonies. As for the victim, she was sent to the hospital with what's being described as non-life-threatening injuries.
Our victim's advocate and our victim services people were sent to the hospital and are dealing with her now. I think they've engaged outside services to try and help.
MCSO says they're still investigating the incident to see if any more charges will be filed.
Now to our other top story tonight, a disturbing kidnapping at a Henrietta hotel caught on camera.
I look out the window and I saw that two people were dragging a girl out of the front door and they just threw her into the back seat of the car.
Those two suspects arrested after they were seen on video dragging that victim out of the hotel. Good evening to you. I'm Matt Malloy. The victim later rescued in the city of Rochester. 13 Wham's Carla Rogner has more on that investigation tonight. Carla, good evening.
Yeah, good evening, Matt. According to the Monroe County Sheriff's Office, the victim was being prostituted by the suspects. The video is disturbing, but authorities say it's important to see because it depicts the reality of sex trafficking.
It took me a good few minutes to question whether or not if I was actually dreaming when I saw that.
Jordan Burkett was sound asleep in his hotel room when he woke up to the sound of a woman screaming.
I look out the window and I saw that two people were dragging a girl out of the front door and they just threw her into the back seat of the car.
Concerned, he dialed 911. Security camera from the Microtel Inn shows what Burkett saw. A woman being dragged from the front desk of the hotel and out the front doors by two suspects now identified as Cordell Brooks and Shantiana Sims, both 27 years old and from Rochester.
She kicked the door open. She tried to get out. She was halfway out of the car. The car started speeding off and they pulled her back in.
We put a lot of resources very quickly into trying to find this woman. Like we said, it was obviously a very physical, very violent crime. We certainly didn't know what the outcome of that was going to be if we didn't find her in a timely fashion.
About 9 hours later, around 3 p.m., authorities arrested the two suspects in a traffic stop on Joseph Avenue and Sullivan Street in the city of Rochester. Deputies say the victim was taken to a hospital with injuries.
Oftentimes we talk about prostitution and we say it's a victimless crime, but it really isn't. And this woman was definitely a victim, and ultimately a victim who was in great physical peril due to what was going on. Her life circumstance put her in a place where this is the way she had to survive. This is what sex trafficking is, what abduction is, what kidnapping is. That's that video is it's not a victimless crime in any way.
After witnessing the horrifying crime, Burkett was relieved Thursday afternoon to find out the victim was safe.
That matters more than anything to me, knowing that she's okay. Because the way they sped off and the way they put her in the back seat.
And investigators say the victim is from out of town and that she came to the area and has been with these two suspects for a few months now. The sheriff's office is continuing to investigate the circumstances.